Howdy, brothers.
Welcome back to another episode of Whiskey and Water.
We are back at it once again, this week with a super fun episode.
Yes, we have a little bit of a different vibe with this episode's guest. We're going more for the drama, for the fun, for the girls. And
For the
gays.
girls.
The girls and the gays.
You guys know I'm a Too Hot to Handle stan. And so we reached out to Miss Carly Lawrence, who has graced our podcast today. I guess, is that proper to say, like today? Whenever you guys are listening.
Yeah, today.
And it's really such a fun episode. But before we get into that, we are going to do a little bit of a more in-depth catch-up and kind of get you guys up to speed with what's going on with Mood, what's going on with us. And just fill you guys in.
Just take a second and talk to the brothers, give you a little life update and, give you the good stuff.
Yeah, we're a bit overdue.
Yeah, we are.
A lot's going on, and we are just so excited to share it with you guys.
Yes.
Let's start with our high and low and our deep dive.
Okay, so
Start off with the lows.
I guess we'll start off with lows. You want to go first?
Yes. My low is that I don't know what happened to my body chemistry, but it in turn changed my skin. And I have been breaking out like crazy with like these really like painful pimples.
Oh, it's so much worse when they're painful.
Yeah. They are painful and they're like, just like they're scabbing and, it's just like no bueno. And I felt like part of it was like because of the bangs. Like I recently cut bangs and like I feel like the oils on my forehead and stuff, whatever. But like then it started like spreading all the way to my cheeks. And I don't know. It's been really, really bad. Like it was super painful. Like I literally took photos of it the other day because I was like, I need to like document how bad this is. And, it just really took a toll on my
mental health
and my confidence. Like I was literally looking at the pictures after I took them and crying in my bathroom. And that sucked. And I was like, damn, I wish this like didn't matter as much to me. But then like the next days I'm shooting and stuff and I had to like go so much more out of my way to try and cover them up and like just, I don't know, it was just a really different experience for me because I've never had that sort of acne where it's just like, insane texture on my face. And so, that was definitely my low. I'm still trying to like treat it and kind of see like why that happened and like where it came from. And hopefully it doesn't, persist. But yeah, it was definitely a bummer. And I've dealt with like really bad acne on my forehead before, which really came out of nowhere, and the Curology helped that like immensely. So I'm not like a stranger to acne, but it's been a while since I had a breakout of that nature. And yeah, it just made me like feel really grateful again for like the days that I do have, good skin days, because it really just changes, your confidence entirely.
Stars, they're just like us.
Oh my God, shut up.
No, but I also think it's like, skin is one of those things that it's nice when you hear other people sharing about it, because especially people you look up to and people who are like influencers. Like I remember one of our favorite influencers, Helen Owen, when she finally opened up about her skin journey. It was like so nice to see, because every time we saw her content, we were just like, she's perfect.
Yeah.
Like she was the epitome, the like some other influencers will be like, they like show their flaws, this and that. But like with Helen, it was always just like, she is perfect. And it just looks like she's living the most perfect life. So I remember that was really cool when she was like super vulnerable and open about her like horrible acne. And it is nice because it's super
validating.
It humanizes like us and other people. Like we're all, we say it all the time. Social media is a highlight reel. And of course, as influencers, it's our job to show those highlights and, be on brand with our personal brands. So yeah, it's a good reminder.
And I just think it's really refreshing when people just share,
their truth,
their truth and things that are like going on behind the scenes that we have no idea with, there's people who are struggling with like, it's like silent struggles, like people who are struggling with like IBS or people who are struggling with like really bad like cystic back acne or all of these like little
infertility issues.
Yeah.
Like there's so many things that people can choose to open up about. Of course, it's like up to their preference and what they're comfortable with, but yeah, it's definitely nice. All right, so that was your low. What was your high?
My high was that we did a BMW experience.
Yes, that was so fun.
Yeah. So Liv and our friend Tamir partnered with this company called Jeeves. and it's a like personal driver company. It's really dope. I think we talked about it maybe once before.
Like a private chauffeur, but they drive your car instead of like a different car, which is super cool.
And they can like keep like the person will stay with your car like all night or all day. They can like go get it cleaned for you. They can pick stuff up for you, whatever it is. It's really dope. So they had partnered with them, and the collaboration was like that they would get to go to like this BMW track and race. Not race, but I guess like
it's like a driving experience.
Yeah, but you go like fast as fuck. So we went and did that. And it was so much fun. We were going like 140.
We hit 140
in these like nice ass BMWs.
And it's nice because you'll never, I mean, you know, some people do, but I would never ever hit those speeds anywhere else. Even if it was like even if it was like an open road, like in the Everglades, you know, or something like, you know, like Road 27, like I still just don't have the balls to do it there. But like at this track, it's literally a professional track, and you're like,
it's fast as fuck.
He's telling you like pedal on the floor, go, go,
yeah,
go.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you're literally going as fast as you can.
Wearing helmets. It was actually so fun. I actually like cried.
What?
I don't know. I just got emotional.
When?
Like just in the cars, like us going fast.
The adrenaline kicked in.
I don't know. I feel like I'm at this like with everything that happened. Like now, whenever I hit like a peak emotion, even if it is happiness, it like triggers other emotions. It's really weird. Huh? Because I was like so happy, and the tears weren't necessarily sad. It was just emotional.
It was just emotion. Yeah. I feel that, honestly.
It was interesting, but it was so fun.
I do be crying like that all the time.
It was so fun. Yeah, that was a good time. It was like one of those things that's like a once in a lifetime.
Yeah, like, you know, racing on like an actual like professional track. Like it was fucking dope.
It was awesome.
It was intense, honestly. Like,
no,
and like,
it was. And I'm surprised how little information they gave us.
Yeah, and they were like, telling us to take the turns like hard as fuck. Like we were taking these turns.
Don't be shy. Turn. The car will turn. I'm like,
we were taking these turns at like 60 and 70 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And he was like, you need to pull the fucking steering wheel. Like pull it, it'll turn. And we're like, it's just scary. It was scary.
It's so like counterintuitive.
Yeah.
Like your body's like,
nope.
No. And he's like, go. But yeah, so fun.
That was so much fun.
So fun.
All right, you go for it.
Okay, so my low, I've had a pretty good few weeks. So the only thing that I could say is kind of a low is, and we'll get more into this because we want to tell you guys a little bit about what we've been doing with Mood. But the hiring process is such an emotional roller coaster. And so these aren't like lows that like lasted a day or anything. It was just like really in the moment lows where it's just like you get really excited about an applicant and then you get really disappointed, or like I don't even okay,
I think I got it actually.
But yeah, so that's just been like, I would say just an emotional roller coaster.
And just emotionally draining.
So draining.
Yeah.
So draining.
Like we found a girl that was like a dream applicant. We interviewed her. Her energy was insane. Like we got off the call and we were pretty much like
the
hired.
Universe like brought her to us. And then we kind of just like thought about it more realistically. And she's in Australia and the time difference would just be too much for us to comfortably work around. And that was super disappointing because it's like, you know, you have this dream person, like we clicked so well with her, like personality, spirituality, work wise, like we really felt confident in like her skill set. But the reality is just like sometimes with this journey of entrepreneurship and owning a business, you do have to make these like really hard decisions, and the right decision isn't always the easiest.
Exactly.
So yeah, that was a little bit of a low, but also, you know, up and down. And then
everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, for sure. And then my high is had a great Valentine's Day weekend in Nashville. So fun. Booked like all the coolest things ever, and we really enjoyed our time there. And also, we officially closed on our house.
Hell yeah, brother.
We signed the papers. It's our house. We're ready to go.
So exciting. And they're keeping the duplex.
Yeah. I think you guys know that already. We officially got tenants for our unit. They're moving in March 27th. So like we have all the dates. Everything's official. We're starting to pick out flooring and like getting quotes for stuff.
So exciting.
So exciting.
The house is so cute.
I am just like so fucking excited for this. And it's crazy because we moved into the duplex like exactly like now 2 years ago. It was around February by the time we were done renovating.
And the timeline has worked out great. It's pretty much what you wanted. You know, you wanted to stay there 2 years and then find another place.
It's exactly what I wanted. And for the past year, I've been so internally torn.
Eager.
If this was even going to happen, if this is what we wanted to do. So now that it's like, in hindsight, I'm like, okay, wait, this is actually the plan that I wanted all along. And it worked out without me even like kind of realizing it in a way. Is so cool.
Isn't that crazy how that happens?
Yeah, it's so cool. But yeah, I'm so excited to not hear gunshots anymore. Anyways.
Love that for you.
Yeah, me too. And the tenants, I met them. They're really cool. They're like 2 guys and I feel comfortable with them being there.
Nice.
So yeah, that is our high and low catch up. Let's we'll do a deep dive and then we'll talk a little bit about mood for a bit. My deep dive is with Bobby Hotel in Nashville, and I was able to partner with them again because we went in December with them through Macy, our friend. She's the one who originally got the contact information, and it was great. So the first night, first of all, they gave us a fat ass room. Like, it was a suite with a balcony. Was not expecting that in the slightest. Tyler and I walked in and we were like, what the fuck is this? This is crazy. So the first night they gave us free, and then the 2 nights they gave us at a media rate, which was $200 per night.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, which I was happy to pay because I think that room was probably like $1,200 a night. So I knew from the jump, even if I wasn't able to partner with Bobby, I might have even paid for a room. Like, I was considering it. So that's why like I went into the mindset of like, I really don't mind paying that. But it was great. And they gave us a credit. They gave us a credit for a couples massage too that we didn't end up using, but it was super nice of them. And if you guys go to Nashville, definitely check out Bobby Hotel. Love it. So convenient. It's so nice there. It's so convenient. We literally walk to Broadway every night. It was great. And it's cute. I like staying in boutique hotels versus resorts. Like, it's just so much more. It's so much more our vibe
when they're well managed. Honestly,
yeah, for sure.
It's such a nice hotel.
That was my deep dive for this week. What's going on with you, partnership wise?
My deep dive for this week is with Bali Body, which I am really, really stoked about because I have wanted to work with Bali Body like for years and years.
Yeah, dude, I'm trying. The coffee they gave me this morning is...
Dude, don't drink it. Just drink mine.
Okay.
Here.
You don't have to convince me.
Yeah. I'm like, why are you torturing yourself?
Bitter.
Anyway, I was talking about me. Bali Body, I've been wanting to work with... You can keep it near you. I've been wanting to work with them for so long. And, you know, it was just like...
It's one of those brands that just like influencers want to work with because they're just dope.
And so I'm really, really excited about that. We ended up locking in...
Well, how did you find it?
I think I just
did outreach.
Yeah, or Taylor found the email on the brand doc, I think is what it was.
Okay, cool.
So we ended up locking in a reel and some stories.
And when she says brand doc, by the way, basically our group of friends have this massive Excel spreadsheet where we just all help each other out and put emails there for each other.
Like direct emails so that, you know, we can get in touch with people. But yeah, so I ended up locking in a reel and stories. I did it for like definitely under my rate, but I was okay with that because I was excited to work with them. And it's one of those things where they're like, oh, you know, let's see how this one goes and then we can raise the rate. Yeah. And so I was comfortable doing it. And I also know
it's also aligned with your brand.
It's aligned with my brand. And I also know what other people in my niche are getting paid for it. So it's not like they're undervaluing me. It's just, you know, it's probably standard what they pay people within my following range. So locked in a reel and stories, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
And for the rate?
The rate is $1,000.
Solid.
Mm-hmm.
They actually tried negotiating with me. What was it? $500 for 2 TikToks, and I had to decline. It's one of those things where like, could I do it? Yes, but like, it's almost the principle at that point, and you have to be saying no to things to be able to say yes to other things.
Yeah, facts.
So I did my deep dive. All right.
Let's get into it.
So basically what's been going on with mood, is that really weird, is that we had a meeting with one of our previous guests. Actually, her name is Abby Hall, and she owns Tone Agency, which is an incredible agency, really, really strong in rebrands. Like, Abby just is so knowledgeable, and she really like is such a self-teacher. Like, she's self-taught. She's listening to podcasts every day. She's reading every day. She really inspires me to like like learn more about this industry, which is great. And we had a meeting with her, and I think she like originally wanted to meet up with us just to talk about like how we can partner together and how we can help each other. And she ended up just like consulting us for like an hour because she's just great and like wants to see us succeed. And she gave us so much valuable like insight into mood and what we're doing and how we're doing it now versus how we could be doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so enlightening because like, I don't know, you think like this is what we do. You think we would like know all this. And I think we did in the back of our heads.
Yeah.
We just didn't think it was as important as it actually is.
Yeah.
And she basically was just like, at the end of the conversation, Jess and I were like, we need to completely rebrand Mood.
Mm-hmm.
And rebrand as in like
re-strategize.
Think about our brand messaging and who we're talking to on social media. Like basically our Instagram page and how we're utilizing it is completely not effective.
Yeah. And I mean, our website is not strong right now at all. So yeah, we, you know, like we had been getting by. We're like, oh, you know, we're getting clients, but
we're putting this stuff on the back burner, and it really needed to be in the fucking front burner.
The front burner,
the front left burner, like your favorite one that you always use.
I go front right. But you know, so we're really, really excited, very just kind of like re-inspired. And it's coming at a really interesting time because we also are, you know, searching for this new social media manager. So it's kind of like a line, you know, we'll be rebranding as we're also bringing on this new person. So they'll be able to kind of jump into like this new vibe and, you know, like we have a better idea of what we're looking for out of this person. And
it's also been around a year since we launched Mood. Like we will launch in January of 2021.
Well,
so it makes sense.
We had like launched in January, but like we didn't like really get like our first
clients until like March
or April. So it's super aligned.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like a year in, we're ready for a rebrand. We're ready to like, you know,
level up,
take a deeper dive into like what we're doing and how we're approaching things. And I think the biggest thing I got out of our meeting was just like, and this is helpful for you guys too, because like I said, you would think that we were like thinking about these things, but like content creation is so much different than like branding, you know?
Yeah.
Like those are two totally different aspects of marketing. So it kind of does make sense that like we wouldn't have known this. But really the biggest thing I got out is just like brand message. Like what is our brand message as Mood, as an agency, and who are we servicing? Yeah. So for example, a lot of our captions would be like, here's 3 helpful Instagram growth tips. And as great as that is, and it's good for saves and shares, who are we talking to by giving that advice? We're talking to content creators and influencers who, like, you know, we are going into the influencer sector, but at the moment we're servicing small businesses, and I guess it could be helpful for them too, but I guess that was kind of a bad example because it could be helpful.
No, I mean, it is helpful, but it's not about what is like helpful, because people are going to then come to our page for free advice, and you know, like that's. And of course, like, we know we have no issue sharing that, but it's about like the messaging that we're putting out.
That's not the service that we offer. We don't offer Instagram like
growth
or tips or education. Like we offer content creation and influencer management now. That's like what we're honing in on. And that caption isn't reflective of our services, and it's not reflective of like speaking to our ideal clients. So that was really interesting because I was like, yeah, we need to like think about what our brand message is and how we're speaking to our audience online.
Yeah, and also just like honestly just elevating our brand in general to
like visually
to attract the type of brands that we want to work with. You know, it's like our Instagram is a little all over the place. Like we just post photos from like shoots and stuff, which isn't bad. You know, we're using it as a portfolio, but we definitely are going to be changing up the vibe to be more
elevated, refined.
Yeah, agency like heavy, like talking about, you know, the process behind Mood and, you know, like how we will, you know, how a shoot goes, or, you know, like
how a shoot goes, how client facing interactions go, you know, like things like that, and not just showing off our work. I'm just like so excited, honestly.
Yeah.
Because we've like hated how that feed has looked for so long. And at first, you know, it is great to use this as a portfolio, but that's also like what a website is for.
Yeah. Which, you know, is a whole other thing. Which is a whole other thing that we're tackling. Yeah. Which is rebranding the website as well.
I'm just really excited we're really inspired by it. And I'm just so glad that like we have people in our life like Abby who do like want to see us thrive and like take it upon themselves almost to like offer this mentorship.
Yeah.
It's
And
like
it's
I'm so grateful for that.
And it was just, I don't know, just so dope, because it's like she really just didn't have to do that. Didn't have to spend her time, you know, sitting down with us for like an hour and a half and just like telling us exactly what we're doing wrong.
Yeah. And it, because she like charges for consulting. Like, you know, it's so nice. And like, she is an agency who, when we started, like she could technically be our competition and we could be her competition. And it's so dope when you like have, I feel like what we're putting out is this like good energy of like cultivating like female fucking founders, boss bitches.
Yeah.
And you know, it's just, it's so cool to see that come full circle and see someone who could be our competition but is coming to us and like giving us like fucking pro tips to see us succeed.
Yeah.
So dope.
Really just like out of the kindness of her heart.
Yeah, so dope. So that's just, you know, insight for you guys too. Like if you see someone who is competition, I don't know, just see how you guys can work together. Like it's not, I don't know, there's
everyone can eat.
Yeah, everyone can truly eat. So besides that, which is very inspiring for us at the moment, we've also been hiring for this social media manager position, and that's been like such a interesting process. I think this is definitely the most like diligent we've been with hiring someone because we don't want to like have as much turnover, I guess, as we have had in the past with different positions. But we are being very thorough with this.
We haven't really had that much turnover.
No,
we've had one person in each position. It's not like we're like pumping employees out, but
not at all.
We just want long-term retention.
We want to keep someone forever.
Yeah, which is why we're being diligent. So we've had not every applicant, but anyone who we see like could be potentially a good fit. We tasked them with the idea of doing a mock-up for a client, like a story set, and then like a mood board for a shoot. And we're really keeping it open-ended, letting them do, you know, whatever they feel called to. Some people are, you know, doing the bare minimum and it's like not great.
But it's great to see.
Yeah. And then like, some people are creating like video PDF montages of shit. And like, it's really fucking dope because it shows who's excited about the position and who's willing to go the extra mile and who's not.
Yeah. And it even reminds me of our previous episode with
Emily from Covey Skin.
Yes, Emily, and how she talked about how she did like a whole case study with the person she was hiring as her chief growth officer. And that was great insight for us too, because we're like, okay, we're doing the right thing by like assigning these tasks, because you don't know how someone's gonna like handle projects until they're handling a project.
And like it's just been very eye-opening, very telling. It's been a huge factor for us in whether or not like we move forward with like an interview. And during this process as well, when we find someone who we feel like maybe isn't the best fit, we also reached out and we're like, hey, you know, we really love, you know, this about your resume or your portfolio, but, you know, we don't feel like you have quite enough experience, but we'd love to see if you were interested in an internship. And that's been really interesting because almost everyone that we offered that to was interested. So we ended up hiring 2 interns.
2 awesome interns that I'm so fucking excited about. Yeah,
they're really, really dope. And we originally were going to look for 1, but, you know, they had such different strengths. And, you know, we also did an audit on Mood of like, okay, where can we really utilize, you know, help from interns and, you know, just try to like strategize that. So we basically broke up the tasks into like 2 different sections, and you know they'll be tackling different things, and I'm really excited about that. We've had interns in the past, but I feel like we didn't utilize them super well.
We went about it the wrong way. Not the wrong way. We're just learning. It's a learning curve.
Yeah. You just need to be a little bit more intentional. And so we're really, really excited. I feel like it's going to be really great. And we're also hiring people that we really loved, and hopefully, you know, we can offer them a paid position down the line.
Interns are interesting because, you know, we're offering an unpaid internship. So it's like they need to be getting something out of this too, since they're not getting paid. So it's like we were really making sure we're asking them like, what would you love to learn more about in this field? And like understanding that a lot of them they're younger, they're Gen Z, which I love.
Yeah, one of them is like a freshman or sophomore in college,
which is great because it's like we were very like, you're not supposed to know what you want to do right now. How can we help you get some clarification on and like direction on where you might want to go with your career, what interests you? Like use this kind of as a test to see if social media is an industry that you really want to dive into and take seriously and make a career out of. So it's really dope that we can like offer that too. So it's an interesting balance. Like you have to be able to offer them something and they have to also have the skill set to do the tasks that you want to assign them, because they are important at the end of the day.
Super.
So yeah, that's exciting. We still don't know. We don't have anyone filled for our social media manager position just yet. We're still kind of making decisions. I think we're going to do a few more interviews this week too, because we just want to have total confidence that we did our due diligence.
Guys, we ended up posting about the position on TikTok.
Yes.
And, we were like, we use a trending sound and we were like,
And we've done this before in the past.
Yeah. But the TikTok went
low-key viral.
Low-key. Like has what, like 250,000 views, which, as you guys can imagine, resulted in a lot of resumes and a lot of applications.
But it's so dope because like everyone we interviewed was just like, we got a lot of like just incredible applicants, and
people who just got it,
who are young, who they get social media, they get TikTok, they get trends, and it's like that's exactly someone we need. And I don't know if we would have had such like a great outcome from posting on Indeed or LinkedIn.
There's no shot.
Like we found these people because we found them on TikTok.
Yeah.
And that's just a pro tip. Like if you are hiring or looking for help or looking for an assistant, try putting it on TikTok. Don't just post it once, post it a few times to give it a few chances. But it's so dope. Who would have thought like we could use TikTok for hiring?
Yeah, no, it's been people have been like just so good, like really creative, really just like it's important that they like are on TikTok and get like social media and it's good that like our videos are being shown to them specifically, because it's like, okay, then they're on the right side of TikTok, you know what I mean?
And also, not to mention, like in this TikTok that blew up, we were like, when you are looking at an applicant and they're like, we put the things that we wanted, and then people who felt like they aligned with that applied. Like we literally put have a neutral resume, like have a neutral colored resume with minimal font, their work love language, open communication and transparency, and their horoscope sign is a Virgo. So like people who cared about those things and company culture are the people who applied. So it just makes for like such a great fit on both ends.
Yeah.
I can't. It's so funny.
And if we were looking for a traditional social media manager, like on like LinkedIn or Indeed, there's a chance that like they might not be versed in TikTok, which is like super important for mood specifically.
Yeah.
It's important for a lot of social media managers, but like, like we might have gotten someone like a little bit older and who, maybe just hasn't explored that yet. So it's good that we didn't like have to waste our time.
Yeah. And considering we are like deep diving into TikTok services and creating content for brands for TikTok specifically, it's like they have to be Gen Z and they have to be well versed in that.
Yeah.
So yeah, exciting stuff happening all around you guys. We of course can't wait to bring you along for the ride as we do. Is there anything else? I feel like we covered a lot of bases.
I think we did too. We'll of course keep you guys posted on like the rebrand and, when we kind of have things like up and going. We're really just focusing on the hiring process right now and getting someone in that position, because right now we are running the accounts, which, is only going well.
Not great.
When we actually have to work, it sucks. No, I'm kidding. But, we don't want to be doing the social media stuff.
Yeah.
So we're trying to put someone in this position sooner rather than later, hopefully in this next week. And if we'll be super confident in whatever hire we do decide to go with.
Yes. If you guys have loved this episode so far, send it to a friend, post it on your stories, let us know you're watching. I know we have some audience from TikTok, which is amazing. Send us to a friend who you think would enjoy our show, and we will hop into our episode with Carly.
Hope you guys enjoy it.
See you on the other side.
Okay, guys, we are live with Carly. How are you today, babe?
I'm feeling good. I feel great. I'm excited. I haven't done a podcast. Actually, though, I just did a podcast last week, but I feel like this one's gonna be even more fun. So
It is. This
yeah.
this whiskey and water vibe is
You got that
such
right.
a fun podcast.
You got that right,
honestly.
sister.
Excited.
So, for our audience who doesn't know you, tell them a little bit more about yourself.
So I'm 23. I'm from Canada. I'm a Canadian. I live in
Ooh.
LA now, and how I got my following was from Too Hot to Handle season 2, and the third one just launched like 3 days ago. I don't know if you
Okay.
girls saw that.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I love the
She's
show.
a critic.
I am. I fucking hated that this past season. I'm gonna be
Really?
completely
I
honest
heard
with
that.
you.
Someone else said that to me, and then apparently it got bad reviews online. I haven't watched it though, but I didn't even watch mine. So
You didn't watch yours?
no, I watched like some clips of me, but like I would just zoom
Same.
through it because like when it first came out, I remember like I was in Canada and I was like freaking out about it because like you don't know how you're gonna be perceived, right?
Oh
So
God,
I just
can't imagine.
zoomed through just to my parts, and then after I was like, I didn't have anxiety. It's okay, I don't need to watch the rest of it. It's fine.
Yeah, I feel that.
That's such an interesting take. I wonder if most people, do you know if any of your castmates also like kind of just like didn't watch it?
I think a lot of them did watch it. Lots of them had
They
like
did?
viewing parties and everything, and for me, I
Okay.
was like at home with my dog in bed watching it, like watching
I'm-
just parts.
Yeah.
I'm way too narcissistic not to watch it. I'm like, I
See,
need
I'm
to
too
see.
nervous. Like I feel like I nitpick myself so much. So if I watched the full thing,
Yeah.
I'd be cringing.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more like about that. I feel like people are probably so curious as to like how that even like came to be, and I'm really curious as to like your internal dialogue of like choosing to go on the show.
So pretty much what happened was I got a DM, and I remember I thought it was a scam because I actually been scammed like a month prior.
Oh
So
my
I was like,
gosh.
oh, it's the same guy fucking with me. But then like after like I had like Zoom calls after, it was like a 6-month process. It was a long
Yeah.
process. We had
Really?
psychological testing, we had to have background checks. I was like, there's no way that this is fake. But like most people would Google Fremantle. That's the company that does Netflix. I mean, does Too Hot to Handle and everything like that. I didn't even Google it. Like I'm just so out of it that like I probably could have figured out pretty quickly that I was Too Hot to Handle, and I just didn't. So I had no idea
Oh,
going
wow.
into it. I had no idea. I feel like most people knew. I mean this when I say it, I had no clue. I thought I was gonna go party. So I didn't bring clothes on the show like that were cute. I didn't bring like makeup. They had to buy me makeup there.
That's
Wait,
so funny. Yeah,
wait,
you were
so-
constantly like supernatural, and which I loved that though.
Thank you. It wasn't. I
Wasn't
probably
my
wouldn't have
choice.
been like. It wasn't my choice. I probably wouldn't have been like that if I had known it was gonna be so big. I probably would care a little bit more. But
I think that's like what made you like a fan favorite though. Like
yeah,
people
I just
love
didn't
that.
care. I
Yeah.
didn't care. I was
Yeah.
there to just have fun.
Super authentic. Wait, so did you say that you didn't know what show it was until you literally showed up on set?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
doesn't know about Too Hot to Handle because
No, I didn't know
she's
about it.
not.
I'm not educated in the space.
Yes.
I'm the one
Yeah.
that's like I binge watch it.
That is
So
wild.
they go on, and the premise is that
I
they
can't
they think that
imagine.
they're about to like party, and then the concept is like they can't even like touch each other.
Yeah.
No, I know that it's crazy to like go through the entire process and just still not know until you show up. Like you have to be a certain type of person
Yeah.
to like
no,
be
I
up for
was
that
so-
challenge.
I was so challenged. It was called, so the working title on our the contract was Parties in Paradise, and I didn't have a lawyer look over it really. Maybe I did, but no one caught that it was like it was in quotations, so that wasn't the real name of it. But I didn't catch that because I'm not
Right.
I'm not a
Right,
lawyer.
you're
I
not.
don't notice that. So I was like, no way, this is real. We're going to Parties in Paradise, and I didn't even know it. I didn't even think in my brain that I'd get casted for Too Hot to Handle. Like that didn't even cross my mind. And I remember being in the house, and the night before everything, one of the guys said to me, "It's Too Hot to Handle," and I was like, "No way, I would be on Too Hot to Handle." And then,
That's so funny. So some people
Yeah.
on the show like kind of did figure it out.
yeah, it did.
That's
yeah.
hilarious.
Did you
Yeah.
have a moment of like being like, oh shit, I don't want to do this. I'm not sure. Like, did you have any doubts or concerns once you found out?
Honestly, I didn't because I didn't watch the first season either. So like, I didn't even really know how big it would be. I didn't know I was gonna like blow up. Like in my head, I just looking back, I'm like, I just ignore every flag in my life. Like I really just was like, I'm just here for the ride, like hanging out.
I love that though.
That's so funny.
And I'm sure it made for a more authentic experience for you, you know, like not
Yeah.
having the makeup and all those things. Like your genuine, authentic self really came through.
100%. I think that's why I did as well as I did.
So how do you feel like, obviously like that's what kind of like blew you up, and would you say that you're like grateful for the process, or like how did you feel like it like, you know, really like changed you as a person?
My friends say that it changed me in a better way.
Oh,
which is
good.
weird. I don't know. I guess I feel like I'm still the same person. I'm really thankful for the opportunity. Like looking at my life before the show, I was like, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. Like I always kind of wanted to move to LA and see like how that life would be. But like I'm also very like an anxious person. I was like, there's no way I'm ever gonna like move countries and pick up my life. You know, I was so
Right.
set and like bartending and doing my marketing there and my friend group. And so like the show really just pushed me out of my shell. So I'm
Oh,
thankful for
wow.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, good. And so what does your life look like now in LA?
Honestly, it's like a lot of brand deals. Like I do a lot of brand work. I want to start my own companies. I want to do my own thing. But my day to day, honestly, it's kind of boring. I love to stay in bed. Like I'm not
No,
like
we
I
feel
don't
that.
go out. Yeah, I don't go out a lot. I like to stay at home.
And do you feel like there's like a stark difference between life before and life after? Like this is the closest thing to like kind of an overnight success. You know what I mean? Which is like something that's new with our generation, I feel like, of the internet and
Yep,
having like, well, Netflix is different. That's a whole different type of
Mhm.
platform
I know.
and like leverage to such a bigger audience, but it's still this concept of like your life is forever changed and will never go back to what it was prior. So what has that kind
Mm.
of overnight success been like for you, like that journey?
Well, that's a good point. Yeah, because that's the thing. It's like it's not like I was working on it. You know, like the Madison Beer, the Justin Bieber, like they want that. Like they so want
Right.
it. And for me, it was like I just was like kind of a candidate and thrown into it without like a choice. Like it wasn't like I really wanted it and I was like I want to be in the spotlight. I was just thrown into it, and within 4 days, I think I had 1 million. Like it was just wild. My whole life
Dude,
literally
I
changed
remember.
overnight. Yeah, and then I moved, and then I moved. Like it was literally the show came out, hit a mill. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Then I was like, I got to go to Miami. I gave my parents my dog to look after my dog, flew to Miami, and I didn't go home for like 5 months. Like it was just like,
Oh, wow.
this apartment here moving. Like my whole life was just like, it's messed. But I love
That's
it. But
crazy.
it's
Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy. It is crazy. Yeah.
Do you feel like people treat you different, like people that you meet now, people in your inner circle who you knew before?
Yeah, I would say so. Not like my real like my hometown girls don't, and that's why I love them, and that's why they'll always be my best friends because I don't like I'm the exact same person as
Yeah.
before. I just make money in a different way and I'm just judged by more people, but I'm literally the exact same, but definitely treated differently. Yeah, 100%. Like if I go out and someone like takes pictures and stuff, it's just yeah, it's different.
That's what a bizarre thing to just
Mhm.
go
I
from.
know.
I always like say like with the D'Amelios too with Charlie,
Mhm.
like it
Oh
must be
yeah,
so
that's
weird from just going to from such an average
High
yep.
schooler, middle schooler.
Midwest life
Yeah,
to literally thrown in Hollywood, overnight fame, people crying when they meet you. Like it's just a wild
I know
concept.
it is because you don't look at yours like I mean I don't look at myself like that. Like
Of
I really
course.
don't. I don't at all, and I mean that when I say it. I'm just like to me, I'm still the weird normal girl.
I love that. And so I'm kind of curious as to like how do you kind of navigate like this kind of influencer life now? Like cuz it's I think that with every Netflix show you see like pretty much every person starts to do like brand deals and whatnot, which is great. But I'm like how
And
do
The
does
Bachelor.
yeah, and The Bachelor, like
Yeah.
all of these people start to do like these brand deals. So how are you kind of like navigating that space? Do you have someone like, managing you or what does that kind of look like?
So before the show aired, or right around when the show was airing, I was like, I really need to get a manager. So I asked one of my friends who's back in Canada, and he connected me with my manager now. She's absolutely amazing. She does everything for me. She's a boss. Like she does
Hell
absolutely
yeah.
everything for me. So she reaches out to brands. She does it all. I kind of just get the emails, and my lawyer goes over it, and then I just fulfill them if I want to do it.
Oh, that's awesome. And
Mhm.
what would you say is your kind of like ideal brand partnership or kind of like where you want to take your
Influencing.
current influencing?
So the thing is, I don't feel like I'm a very good TikToker, and a lot of brands love the TikTok stuff. So I
Mhm.
really like the clothing ones. I really love to work with for clothing brands. I also love I'm really into mental health. When I had my podcast, I did some ads for mental health and things like that, like therapy. I don't know. I guess clothes for sure. Fashion. That's what I like.
Have you found that there's a bit of a learning curve for you, or has your manager really kind of helped hold your hand in the process and kind of lead you?
Both. I would say that some things like obviously post show there's always like drama and everything, and that was like for me my biggest learning curve, like knowing when to talk, knowing when to like not say anything,
Mm,
knowing when to, because for me when I'm like attacked, I normally just want to attack right back, and have really
yeah.
just like taken a step back from people that have come at me online and not said anything, and that was a huge learning thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, yeah,
Yeah.
that's something else that's like a whole other conversation that comes with overnight fame is like the trolls and the hate and the judgment from others. Give us a little bit about a little insight of like how you've navigated that. I'd love to know like your take on, mental health and
Mm.
those things.
So the crazy thing was is from the show, I actually had great reviews. The
Mhm.
only like thing on the show is like she needs to brush her hair and like she has a double chin. But other than that, my personality I think was pretty
Jesus.
great. I had a really good image post show. It wasn't that. It was actually people in LA more that were coming at me. But for
Mm-hmm.
me, it does affect my mental health when it's like you go online and you can get into such like the loop of like reading comments after comment and really like getting into your head about it. But now I just don't go through my DMs. I don't really look for hate. I don't look at comments. Like I really just try to ignore it. And that's the best thing.
And you said that you received a lot of hate from like people in LA, like just like randos or like other influencers or like what?
Other influencers have come at me for sure. I'm not going to say names, but I've had girls come at me, and I posted it online on my story one day, and I just kind of called it out, and that was that, and I dealt with it.
What was it
But I
about?
just
Just
deal
like
with
just
it
you being on the
differently.
show?
It was about a boy, which is like the
Oh, gotcha.
stupidest
Oh, so
thing
it was like
ever. Oh my,
Oh,
stupid
it
just
was
drama.
so petty, the most petty things ever. That's why I just don't even answer to it anymore.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
just don't even bother. It's not even worth
I
the
don't
time.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
It's such an interesting, like, I'm really trying to put myself in that situation. Like I just can't imagine being thrown into it, having $1 million in 4 days. That's something that people work their entire like lives for. You know what I mean? Like we've been
I know.
influencing for 6 years. It's crazy to just be like, boom, done. Like
No,
here
I
you
you're
go.
know.
good.
And it's a whole career too, like
I know.
a literal career. It's amazing.
That's the thing though. I don't know any different. So for me, like that's my normal. So for me, my normal
Right.
is just like, like same with everyone else that I met on the show. It was like the same thing with them. Like we were all just like, this is our normal. Like we're like my roommate's Nathan from the show as well. So like he's on the same boat as me. Like we're not
Oh,
used to this. Like
I
he was a
love that.
stripper before in Texas, like he
He
was just
was. He was a
he
male
was
stripper.
living his he was just living his life doing his thing. I was bartending, and then it's like we're both like, but like that's a crazy thing too. Like, and then when I talk to my girlfriends about that, really know me and had known me since like I was in kindergarten, they're like, well, we all kind of knew you were going to do something like that. Like, and for me, I was like, really? And they're like, yeah, like you just always had that like vibe. So I think it just, yeah, I don't
My
know.
toxic trait is thinking the same thing about myself.
Hey, you never know.
See, I didn't think about that about myself though. I was like, no way, I'm gonna end up just marrying someone rich.
Yes, I mean
Love that.
it's either or for me. I'm
Yeah,
manifesting
same.
either a rich marriage or a Netflix show. Honestly, that's what I'm manifesting for myself.
You should do it. You should do it.
I would. I've been trying to hold out for The Bachelor. I feel like I can get. I feel like I can get on The Bachelor, and that's
You
what I'm
definitely
aiming
could.
for right now. I feel like
You
I would
definitely
get such a villain edit though. I would. It would take a lot of like
100%.
mental health preparation
It's
because
a lot.
I would get torn up online for sure.
could.
I feel like,
Really?
oh,
You
for
think?
sure.
Yeah,
I'm the
she's the whiskey.
I'm the worst.
I want to know. I'm curious to know.
I'm the worst.
No, 100%.
I'm curious to know if the show like provided any resources for you guys in terms of mental health or even like kind of advising for like when people come into like political spotlight or whatever it is, like they'll take like classes on like public etiquette and things like that. Did
Mm.
the show provide any of that? Did you guys seek out any of that?
So in the show, in the house, we all had the same therapist. She was
Oh,
great. She was
love that.
constantly on site at all times. If we did a scene that was really intense, so like my breakup scene with Chase, like that, obviously you can see on camera, he walks up and he was like super stressed out. They actually kept us apart that whole day. They wouldn't let us see each other. And we're
Oh,
in a
wow.
small area, and they literally have people walking us around at certain times, so we literally can't even see each other. Like it's so freaking intense. But anyways, anytime
Wow.
after big scenes like that, they would make you go to therapy. Like they would make you go sit in the room and talk. So they were really like, honestly, Fremantle, Netflix, whoever, like I don't even know who would set that up, but they did such a phenomenal job with that. I felt
That's
great.
actually
I
so
actually came off the
surprising.
show. I came off the show and was actually pretty messed up because it was like they told us when to go to bed, when to wake up, when the lights were on, when we were getting ready for bed, when we were going to eat. Like we had pretty much like a life coach essentially for 4 weeks. So then to come out of that, I was like messed up. That's when I actually spiraled, and then I got my own therapist. But yeah.
I'd be like, you're like, when do I go to bed?
Yeah.
When do I wake
Yeah, when do
up?
I go to bed? Yeah, legit. And right, you're also not on your phone. So you're like and it was during COVID. So I came back into the world and the world was different. Like I left, it came
Wow.
back and the world was shut. And I was like, what is going on? Like it was just such, yeah.
Wow,
It was
that's
like
crazy.
very,
It's actually
yeah.
the whole no phone thing. I'm like, that would be the biggest reason I would want to not be on a show. I'm like, force me to
Really?
stay
I
away from
loved
my
it.
phone. No,
I
in a
loved
good
it.
way. Like I would love to be
Yeah.
off my phone for a reason. What was like that like just being detached from society?
So the crazy, because it was COVID, we had to have 2 weeks quarantine before we even went in the house. So I think the season 1 had 3 days. So it was so different. So I landed off the flight, walked out of Turks and Caicos, and a girl was there, took my phone, put me in a Jeep, and drove me to a house. Like it was like, I was like, I could be kidnapped right now. Like it's crazy. Like I just like put my trust, like they ended up
That's
calling my
crazy.
parents. They let them know I'm okay. But yeah, so right off the flight, I didn't have a phone. So I had to spend 2
Wow.
weeks in a little villa, like in a little house, like 2 bedrooms and a pool for 2 weeks, no phone.
What did
It
you
was
do?
a big mental like check. I read a lot of books. I
good.
worked
Did anyone
out.
come and like check on you, or were you just like silent for 2 weeks? I'm like,
I had one girl living with me, not from the show, like she was on production. And no, because of COVID, the only people that would come by were the nurses. And I remember when they'd come in, I was like so desperate for like human connection. I'd just like try to talk to them and they'd
Like,
be
"Hey."
leaving. I'm like, don't leave. Yeah. Like, hey. Yeah.
that's crazy.
That is
Wild.
really crazy. And it's crazy that they take your phone as soon as you get off the plane.
Man,
oh
you
my
can't even
God.
Right.
you can't even quarantine with the fucking phone. See, I don't know, man.
No.
I would lose
I
my
heard that some
mind.
people had it. I heard that some people had their phones. I
A
don't know if
second
I'm supposed to
phone.
say that. But for me, my girl was very on it and she was yeah, no. I need
Not
that.
playing. That is
Which is fine.
I'm like, I need the lenient producers.
That is such a wild experience. And
It
then
is.
even to have that strict of a structure and schedule for 4 weeks, and then like you said, to come back and just no one's telling you shit. Like you just
Yep.
like I can see how that shift, like, you know, just like cutting it cold turkey is just like a mind fuck.
It is a mind fuck. It's like when like you're in like high school and college and then you have no more school and you're like, I can literally go out on a Monday and get drunk and no one's gonna tell me I have school the next day, you know? Like it's like the same
Mhm.
sort of thing. And also
Mhm.
we couldn't drink in the house. So that was another thing.
Ooh.
You guys didn't drink like
That's fun.
on the show?
We had max 2 drinks like every night, if not every other night. But like when you're drinking a lot, 1 glass of wine really doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
So I
do
was
the job.
sober. Yeah, the whole time.
No. And that's actually really interesting because like there's some shows where they like encourage, you know, the
Yeah.
people to
The
drink.
drinking,
But I
yeah.
did notice on like Too Hot to Handle that like no one ever got like sloppy drunk.
That's
Which
the
is
thing. On the big ones, yeah, they don't want you to. I think it's on like
Yeah.
the more like the Jersey Shore ones, like they want that. But for Too Hot to Handle, it was like that wasn't like the premise. Like, they wanted everyone to be pretty like,
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
fast.
It was like about
Yeah.
like it's like a wholesome show at the end of the
That's
day.
the thing. Yeah, that's yeah. In the house,
Yeah.
it doesn't. That was not like that. But
the after the scenes was
after the scenes, yeah.
how long were you guys there?
We were at, so 6 weeks total. I left like November 14th, quarantined for 2 weeks, and then I was back 2 days before Christmas.
Oh wow, so that's pretty quick.
Yeah, 6 weeks.
So you guys are there for like a month and then, you know, the
Yeah.
2 weeks of quarantine.
That's the thing. It's
Wow.
like work. Like people, they think it's like you're chilling. Like no, like every day was
No.
different scenes, new people coming in the house, and this relationship. And
It's
they
really
say
fast.
in reality world, 2 days is like 2 weeks. So it's like 2 weeks. 2 days in the house was actually like 2 weeks on the outside. So it's like
Wow.
Yeah.
everything moves so quickly. Like you gain feelings for someone way faster, and then when you get out the house, you're like, I didn't even like that person. But you're just so
Yeah.
in it at the time that you think you do.
Yeah, and those are the only
Yeah.
people that you're like talking. I mean, you're seeing them also like 24/7, so it's a lot different than like traditional like dating when you like
Yeah.
see someone once a fucking week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's crazy.
That's so wild.
And people do be like falling in love on
Oh,
the
I
show
know.
and shit. Like
Oh, I know.
there's some
Emily
of
and
them-
Cam did.
Yeah, they're still together.
Crazy.
That's always
we love each other.
my favorite thing is like seeing like who stays together after the shows and stuff.
Yeah, mine
Who's-
did not
who's
work
gonna
out like
make
that. Mine was a lot different.
It's okay. That's your journey, sister.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everything happens for a reason.
Mhm.
You did mention to us pre-recording that you are going to be launching a YouTube soon with your boyfriend. I didn't know
Yeah.
you were in another relationship. So who's this man?
He was on Love Island. He's actually in my room right now. He's probably listening.
Oh, that's funny.
He just DM'd me and then we just ended up dating. It's only been like a month. Maybe like a month and a bit.
What's his name?
Bennett.
Bennett. I'll be stalking later. I
Go
actually
stalk.
I watched Love Island too. So
She's
I
in.
love reality TV.
You do love it. I like Vanderpump Rules. That's what I watch.
I honestly, I don't know. I love all TV. I truly do.
She's invested. She's
Thank
hella
you, love.
invested.
That's good. It's a good
And
thing. I
you
love
also
it.
mentioned that you might be launching a clothing store soon.
Yes.
Tell
Tell us
Yeah.
us more
about
about that.
what's on the horizon for you.
Yeah, okay, so pretty much, so when I did my podcast, when I had my podcast launch, I ended up getting like kind of like designed like a sweater. It was kind of like shitty though. That's the thing. I didn't love it, and I don't want to sell anything I don't absolutely love.
Right.
So I've been thinking about doing it for a couple months, but I want it to be unisex. There's just so many things that I want before I like launch something. I don't want to like half-ass something. Like for me,
Yeah.
if I'm going to do it, I want to do it and it be perfect. But that's what I'm thinking about doing. I actually had called my manager this morning and we were talking about that. So
So potentially like a unisex clothing line.
yes, yeah.
Cool. That's so
Mhm.
exciting.
Very exciting.
Are you
Mhm.
going to like be designing things yourself, or do you think you're gonna like kind of like source pieces from different places?
Designing it myself. The hoodie that I did was all myself as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. That's so
Yeah,
exciting.
my brother's a graphic designer, so he does all my logos. So he's doing my logo actually right now as we
Oh,
speak.
nice. That's so
Yeah.
Very
exciting.
So sweet.
exciting. It's so cool to watch someone like who has a platform and then is doing the influencer thing, but like sees beyond that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
that was
it's
like, yeah.
I want to hear
Yeah.
your insight just about that process. You know, like now that you do have this amazing thing that you can use as leverage for
Mhm.
whatever you want. Like that's the
Mhm.
beauty in it. Like you really could take
Yeah.
it in so many different directions. So I just want to hear a little bit more about like any ideas you have or just where you plan on taking it all.
So pretty much when I first got with my manager, her biggest thing for me was like building a brand, building you as a brand, you know?
Yeah.
So that was always engraved in my head for, I guess, almost like a year now. Like just we're building your brand, we're building your brand. So she said to me since I've met her, you got to start thinking about what you want to do, what you love to do. Because like, yes, I make great money from doing influencer stuff, but do I always want to be posting another brand?
Right.
Absolutely not. I want my own. So that's
Right.
yeah. But I completely agree with you. You really can take it wherever you want. It's funny to see what different people are doing.
Yeah, definitely. And there's
I'm just funny.
just so much power in me too, under this. There's just so much power in having a strong audience and a community, you know?
Mhm.
And that's like something that
Like a ride or die community. Like they'll
Yeah.
And I
literally
love
buy
it.
like when someone
Yeah.
believes like and it's kind of goes back to what you're saying. You're like you don't want to half-ass something. Like when
Yeah.
someone like knows you as a person and like are invested in you, like they'll buy whatever you're selling because they believe in you and they want to support you. You know what I mean?
That's another reason why I've turned down so many brand deals as well, just because if I don't actually like it, I, I'm not gonna put it on my
Yeah.
Yeah.
story online because girls do buy stuff like that I do put out. I see it. So
Oh, that's good. And
yeah.
how do you feel like are you like enjoying like the influencer life? Like do you enjoy like creating the content and whatnot? Like did you kind of ever see that as like a path for yourself?
You know what? I love it more now. Before when I was like in Toronto, like not really because it was just like wasn't my thing. Maybe I wasn't getting good feedback. But now that I see that people, it's like if I get DMs, I remember when some of the drama happened and I was posting online like just me and being like authentic and I got so much great feedback from it. I was like,
Mhm.
that's what I love about it. Like I just love when I
Yeah.
can like make girls or guys feel good about themselves.
Yeah.
And so about your podcast, are you still doing the podcast or is it like on pause for now?
On pause. You know what? I didn't love doing it. And again, I'm just like a type of
Okay.
person where I'm like, unless I love doing something, I'm just not going to do it. My roommate always says that to me. He's like, you never do something you don't want. And I'm like, I just didn't love it. So I'm putting it on pause.
Okay, good. And I love
Yeah.
that. You know, you don't
Yeah.
have to do shit that you don't like
Want to do.
love. Yeah.
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 The
Exactly.
only reason we've had this podcast for like
2
2
years.
years now and it's not profitable for us. Like we like maybe break even if that, but we fucking love it. So we show
Yeah.
up every fucking week. But there's so much stuff that like we say no to so much because we're like you don't need to do things that you aren't like passionate about.
Yeah.
That don't fulfill you.
And
100%.
and you're not obligated to, you know. I think a lot of people are like, oh well, I said I was gonna do it, so like I need to do it, you know. And
Yeah.
I love that you're like, well, no, I said I was gonna do it and then I didn't like it, so I stopped
Yeah.
doing it.
So I just thought I gave it my all and then I was like, nah.
Yeah,
focus on
and
other
you
things.
never want to create from a place of like feeling forced either, you
Mhm.
know.
Yeah, of course.
Like
Yeah.
and I think that translates too. Like your audience might be able to tell that it's forced if you're sitting there and you don't want to do it, but you're doing it because you already have like sponsors or because you're making yourself do it, whatever it is. So I think that is a great call. You know, it's all about pivoting and not forcing yourself to like come up with stuff and just pull it out of your ass.
which I felt like I was doing. So I'm happy I stopped.
Yes, we're validating that was a good decision.
I love it.
All right. And we also saw that you have the, only shans, the only pans.
Only pans.
And of course, we stand in this household. We both have the only pans as well. But tell us a little bit more about that. I'm sure you launched that like kind of after the show, right?
Yeah, so I didn't know I was going to. I wasn't really. I remember my roommate, who I lived with in Toronto, had it, and she was like, "You should do it." And I was like, I don't know. And like, I feel like there's sometimes such a bad stigma around it. And in my head, if I'm being honest, there was.
Yeah.
And now I moved to LA, and if you don't have an OnlyFans, it's like you're literally just losing out on pretty much free money at that point.
Dude,
So
literally.
My manager never pressured me. She was like, "Look, if you want to do it, we can do it. I can help you start it, whatever." And I was like, "I don't know." I did it, and I was like, "Yeah, why not?" I like doing it. I do. It's fun, and like it's nice to like feel sexy. Like even if it's like a shoot once a week, it makes me feel hot. Keeps me like wanting to work out, do my makeup. Otherwise, I'll just stay in bed all day. So it's like I think it's good for my mental as well, which is crazy. But
yeah, that's something that we've always said.
Yeah, I love that you said that, because even when we made it like about a year ago, and of course there's the stigma, and we thought about it for like 6 months, back and forth, and
watching our friends make
hella money,
dump trucks of money.
But being scared of that judgment, as most girls are, that's completely fair, because there is judgment. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh yeah. No, people do judge you. Like people do think a certain type of way about it. But it's funny you mentioned that, because once we started, I was like, it's kind of nice to be like embracing this sexier side of ourselves that we've neglected.
Yeah.
You know,
or that we
100%.
suppress. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
100%.
Go ahead.
Go on. Oh, I was just gonna say, I also like love going live. Like, have you girls ever been live?
No, we haven't. I'm too scared.
You should do it. It's great. Like, it feels great, and like people are like tipping you, and you see the cash going, and guys are complimenting you, girls are complimenting you. I'm like, damn, feels good. Like, it's like,
you're like a little ego boost. I need
I'm
it.
like,
you're like, maybe I am the shit. No, I love it, and yeah, that was definitely a side of starting it that we didn't like realize until hindsight, and we're like, oh wait, this is kind of like fun and nice that we're able to be sexy and embrace this like feminine side that we all have.
It's just
100%.
nice because like, especially like when you kind of are doing the influencing thing, it's not like the best look to be like constantly posting in like swimwear and lingerie. I post a lot of swimwear. I try like to break it up, but like, that's what gets a good engagement. But it is so nice, like just even creating content that's like really just for you, but also for people that like are like hyper fans to see.
Yeah, and I never post my OnlyFans. Like I never really like market
advertise
it.
Like,
I never advertise it. Yeah. I never post it either. I think it's just the people that really want to find it, they find it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just launched a free one. So I have 2 right now. Well, I don't know if it's actually launched yet. Did I post it? Yes, I have a free one and then a VIP one.
Love nice.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's nice for people who are just like are obsessed with you and love you. Like, it's nice for them to have another platform to consume content too.
Yeah.
And does your manager run it, or do you have like an agency that does it? You do it?
Yeah. So I'm not with any agency. I have my manager and me. And then I do the shoots and everything. Yeah.
Wow, good for you.
Good for you.
I'm with an agency, and honestly, I was like in the messages the other day, like reading through them, and I'm like, I'm so glad I'm not doing this myself, because there was the craziest message in there.
I hope none of your subs are listeners.
Yeah. Oh God, they probably. You know what? They do.
Yeah, I was like, maybe we're gonna have to take that out.
No, I'll leave
take
it.
that out.
I'll leave it. I mean, I'm still in there. I don't care.
Okay.
No, one of them does listen, because in the message he said, just listen to Whiskey and Water. Maybe I do need to take it out. Hopefully he just doesn't listen to this one.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe he won't listen to this one. It's fine.
I'm dead. Okay, well, either way.
John, if you're listening, I love you.
John, if you're listening.
John. I love that you also mentioned that you were in LA, and like everyone just has one. Like, it's a very normal thing there. And I feel like even here, I'm like still trying to not convince, but like girls who ask me like, all right, what's good with OnlyFans? I'm like, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And when you do start it, you're just going to be mad that you didn't start it earlier.
No, literally.
Like
100%.
It's just another platform.
It's passive income.
Yeah, and you don't have to be nude on it. That's another thing too. I feel like people think like I know some of my girlfriends, obviously never see names. I know some of my girlfriends that like want to do like the kind of like the porn side of it, and like they'll use like their dildo on camera and like whatever. Like, that's to each their own. That's the thing. Or you could do not nude. I don't post nudes on mine. Mine's a no nude OnlyFans. Yeah.
We also don't do the nudies, but we support the girlies that do.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. To each
And
their own.
Exactly. But people are really shocked to hear that you can make money without posting nude. And I'm like, dude, yeah, I mean, I can't
it's also,
explain it.
Yeah, connecting, like even just being able to like message, because I know a lot of, like if someone DMs me, I'm not going to message a guy back like on DM. Obviously not. If he's connecting with me on OnlyFans, I'm like, well, I'm going to see that, and then going through my DMs, no way.
Yeah, no, if guys try to like message me, like, you know, like random followers, I just send them the OnlyFans link. I'm like, want to chat? Here you go.
Yeah,
have fun.
100%.
Have fun not chatting with me.
Jess.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
He's bad.
No, not. Yeah, so what
I feel like we covered a lot of bases.
I feel like we did too.
Is there anything else you want to share about? Anything exciting? Anything fun?
No,
fresh?
I think we covered all of it. The questions were great.
Thanks. We do have 2 last questions before we let you go.
Yes.
It's 2 questions we like to ask every guest, and the first one is, what is the best piece of advice that you've ever received?
Oh,
It'd be like something that a mantra that you hold with you every day, you constantly say to yourself, anything.
oh no.
I know it's a hard question.
Take your time.
I feel like it's an easy question, but I feel like if you don't say the right thing, it could come off bad. I don't know. I guess just don't stress. Like everything passes. Time heals everything.
Okay. I love that. Because it is so true.
So true.
Time heals all.
Yeah.
Especially when you feel like something is so like heavy and like catastrophic in the moment.
Yeah.
It's just really like
nice to hear.
Yeah, you got
that it's temporary.
Yeah,
it is temporary. Everything is temporary. Legit.
Yeah.
Yes.
100%. And then the next question is, what is your best business pro tip? So this could be anything from like a life hack, like an app that you use, a mindset tip, anything that kind of helps you keep your day-to-day going.
Ooh. I guess just keep active. For me, it's just like try to do something for your job every other day at least. And if you don't stress yourself out about it. I feel like if I'm too hard on myself, then I really will be in a slump about it. So I'm just kind of like, it comes.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, we are definitely our own worst critics. So
Yes,
I think having grace with yourself is definitely important to everyone's success.
And if you can, one step every day.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining us for this conversation. It was so fun chatting with you and getting like the behind the scenes of everything and just getting to know you better. I hope, your audience listens to this and feels like they know you better as a person.
I love it. Thank you, girls, so much. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Thank
and if
you.
people that don't already know you want to follow you and your journey, where can they find you on socials?
Instagram, TikTok, I think those are Twitter, Carly Lawrence, and OnlyFans, Carly Lawrence.
And OnlyFans.
And OnlyFans.
Amazing. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys loved this episode. If you did, please take a screenshot, tag us, tag Carly, let her know that you listened, and we will see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.